Here we are, another morning mindset, bright and early. We're going to talk about mastery today. Mastery. What does it mean to be a master at something? I think that for a lot of us, we love the idea of mastery, right? Like being really, really good at something in our lives. Only, I don't think we realize that it is quite the undertaking and the process to become a master. And I think especially in times like the ones that we're in, when all of our schedules and habits and routines have been thrown out the door. Some of us have lost jobs. Our businesses have totally tanked, right? Like this coronavirus has just created this ripple effect of change that instantly we start to like wade the waters of new things in our lives. And we're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. I don't know where to go from here. And we immediately start to feel like the opposite of a master. Okay. And then we start to think these really negative, awful thoughts. And then we start to move into survival mode and then into shame mode and into guilt mode. And then we become, just amazing human beings to be around. So we really need to talk about mastery in our lives. And I want to be cautious about when I say mastery, because mastery also does not imply perfection. I am the first to say that I think perfection is completely overrated. Nobody likes a perfect person. However, we really do admire masters, okay? Because masters have really taken the time in their lives to be really, really freaking good at whatever they're doing, okay? Whether it's, we're big fans of Conor McGregor in the UFC, right? Or I think Glennon Doyle is one of the best writers that I've ever read, right? I think that there are people out there. Rick Warren, I think, is an amazing speaker. I just went to this rally about standing against vaccines. And there was a couple of individuals who I will notate in this post that are just incredible, incredible activists. Okay. They're masters at what they do. So we really, really, really admire them. But here's what you have to understand today about gaining mastery in your life. So if you're sitting there today and you do not feel good at what you're doing in this life, or the cheese has been moved and you've got to learn a new skill, or you're just thinking really, really negative thoughts and you do not know how to change them, you have habits and patterns in your life that you've got to stop doing them. Here's what you have to understand. The power of your mind is amazing. And if you really understood the power that your thoughts have, you would literally never think another negative thought ever again in your life, because it would cost you too much. Because we would understand how powerful this is. So today what I want to talk to you about is not only just mastery, but I want to teach you how to master your mind. In all of our dream efforts, we have started these groups called Dream Master Your Mind coaching groups. And the reason that it's called Dream Master Your Mind is in order to master your life, you have to master your mind. And in order to reveal what's on the inside of you and the world around you, I have to first take captive every thought that's going on in between these two ears of mine. Because if we don't master our own minds, there's no way we can master our lives. There's no way that someone like Conor McGregor, who is one of the best UFC fighters ever in the history of fighting, there's no way he did that without mastering his mind. And even on the days that he didn't feel like going to the gym, or the days that he was tired, or the days that he didn't want to get up again, he had started to learn how to master his mind first so he could master the art of the game, okay? So in order to start mastering the things that you have on in here and being really good at bringing these to life in the world around you, you have to understand how to master your mind, okay? So what does it mean to master your mind? Well, there's a couple of ways that we're going to do this. I'm going to walk you through kind of 3 steps today. And this does not happen overnight. I was just literally working with a coaching student who was like, I don't know how to do this. Like, I have been trying to do this all week long and I just can't, I haven't mastered this. I can't get on top of these new behaviors. I can't get on top of these new thought processes. And I was like, bro, you've been doing it for like 2 weeks. This takes time, okay? Here's the first thing that you have to do in mastering your mind so that you can start to master your life. Number 1, you have to check your thoughts at the door, okay? If your thoughts are someone knocking on your door, then your house is your life, okay? Your thoughts are the person on the outside knocking on your door going, hey, will you let me in? Will you let me in? And your house is your life. Okay, so your house is a thing that should you decide to open your door and let that person in and let that thought in, they're going to come and find a seat in your home. Okay, here's what you have to understand. Every thought is going to knock on your door. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I can't have what I want. The world does not have my back. The world is full of horrible people. I can't depend on anyone. All thoughts knocking on your door. My question to you is, are you opening the door and letting every single one of those thoughts in, right? Like, are you just kind of being like, yeah, come on in, take a seat on my couch. Go ahead and jump in my bed, grab a glass of wine, make yourself at home. For most of us, that's exactly what we're doing. We're letting any and every thought that we have come into our home. Or maybe you're like me, and I was like putting up barricades on my house so I wouldn't let anything come in, right? I couldn't afford any crazy thought. I couldn't afford emotions coming into my home. I just wanted to be in and of itself all by myself. I didn't listen to any of it. I didn't hear any of it. I almost went on protest. I went on strike against all of it, only to realize that those thoughts just bottled themselves up on the outside of my home, only to come and completely devastate my life for about 5 years. So there's somewhere between not letting every single thing into our life and not ignoring every single thing that's trying to be heard. Part of healing yourself, and I talked about this a couple videos ago and how you heal yourself, go watch that video. The way that you heal yourself is you hear yourself. You have to hear the thoughts. You have to hear the thoughts that are going on the outside of you, on the outside of your home, to validate and verify, do they belong in my home? This thought that I'm having here at the doorstep of my life, can I verify that it's allowed to have room in my home? If not, then we have to learn the art of not letting it in, okay? But that comes later. So here's what we have to do first. You have to build awareness. You have to build awareness in your thought. And at first this becomes really tiring because you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how many thoughts I was thinking. Exactly. We have to gain awareness. The second part of this, then you have to start building belief. Not every thought that you're thinking is a negative thought. So we need to start capturing not only the negative ones, but also the positive ones. Those days that you wake up and you're like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I believe that all is well in this world. I believe that what I want wants me. Okay, these are the thoughts on the other side of the table that we have to go. Both are very important and both are very valid. And now I have to make the conscious choice to go, what am I going to invite into my life? Where am I going to build belief? This is where the dreamer becomes very, very conscious, is that every thought you've thought up until this point, my friends, doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't. Anything that you think about this life, anything that you think about health and nutrition, anything that you think about God, anything that you think about people in general, business, money, doesn't mean that it's true. It might be true to you, but it doesn't mean that it's literally true. So in order to start to manifest the things that are really on the inside of you, you have to start verifying if these beliefs are ones that you want to take with you. You clarify them first by going, oh, there's a thought, and oh, there's a thought, and oh, there's a thought. And then you start to verify, is this actually going to serve me in becoming a better version of me? Is this going to serve me as the writer, as the activist, as the UFC fighter, as whatever it is? Is it going to serve me in being the best version of me? And if so, then I need to start inviting it into my life. I need to build this belief. Okay. Then once you do that phase, then we actually start acting like it. So if you start to take on to this belief that says all is well in this world, or I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, or anything that I want wants me more, then you can actually start taking action like it. If you believe that to be true, what would you do today? The person that says all is well, how would you live and act and breathe? The person that says I can do anything, that what I want wants me, how would you make decisions today? Very different. I guarantee it, right? Very different, because not only are you just thinking it, but you're actually starting to embody it. And now I'm making decisions from that place. And so guess what my decisions are going to look like? That. Okay. So this is how you actually start to move this process of mastering your mind, is you're building awareness, you're building belief, and then you're building change. You're actually creating change in the world around you. And I talk a ton about this in my book. Okay, there's 3 sections even in the book that help you do this. Now, here's where mastery comes into play. Okay, there is this thing called liminal space that happens in between letting go of one thing and grabbing onto another. This is a game changer for you. When you start to let go of negative thought processes, habits that don't serve you, routines that won't get you to where you want to be, a career that you don't love, a relationship that is unhealthy, when you let go of those things, there's a process before you grab onto the next thing, before you grab onto that thought process that serves you, before you meet that next person that you fall in love with, before you actually step into the career that you've always wanted or created that business that you've always dreamed of, before you can actually move into a new habit and routine, there is the space in between. This is called liminal space, which basically means I've let go of one thing. I haven't yet grabbed onto another. This is where mastery happens, friends. This is the juiciness. It's the space in between. This is where the master becomes the master. You don't wake up in a passionate, successful relationship. You don't wake up in a career that you're just like off the charts good at. You don't wake up as a dope author or an amazing singer. You don't wake up as a master. And I think that this is where we get confused, is that it's the everyday in between that you're developing and earning your right to be that master. And this is how you start to master your life and master your mind, is that every single day you are taking the opportunity to master what you're leaving behind and to what you're grabbing onto. There's so much power behind this, but here's what happens is sometimes in that liminal space, we feel insecure. We feel doubt. We feel worried and anxious and fear because I don't know where I'm going. I haven't mastered it. I haven't grabbed onto the career. I haven't latched onto the relationship. I don't have that thought process so solid on the inside of me that I'm unmovable. And so what we do is we revert back. We go back to a familiar hell. We go back to the thing that we once knew, not because we like it or it even served us, but it's because it was familiar to us, as opposed to starting to go, no, I'm in my process of mastery, which means I have to keep looking at where I want to go and who I was designed to be, and I have to meditate on it every single day. This is where we can grow tired. This is where we can grow weary, is because we feel completely incompetent, and nobody likes to feel incompetent. You're learning a new skill. Nobody likes not being good at it. Nobody likes this reality that I don't even know how to master my mind, let alone my life. I don't know how to write, even though I've always wanted to be a writer. I don't know how to build a business, even though all I've ever wanted was to build this business. I don't know how to be an activist when I'm just so afraid of judgment and what other people think. It's this space where you earn your mastery. Mastery is earned, but you have to know that there is a phase in between that if you work it just like a muscle, you will gain strength. You will start to learn the lessons you needed to learn. You will start to hear yourself in ways that you've never heard yourself. You will start to heal yourself in ways that you've never healed yourself. And then guess what? You'll start to take action in ways that you've never taken action before. And that is what we're after. So often we go look at the master, right? We look at the person who's on the stage doing the thing pretty much as good as it gets. And we go, I could never be that. But you forget that behind the scenes, 90% of the time, they were working at it again and again and again and again through mistakes and failures and trying again and trial and error and over and over and over and again. They were earning mastery. You have to earn mastery. Most of us aren't even taking the time to know who we are and what's most important to us. How do you ever expect to be a master at being you, a master at being at your craft, a master of your mind? I don't think that's fair. So today, here's what I want you to do. I want to welcome you to this practice of mastery, which is the space in between. Recognizing the things that you need to let go of, acknowledging the thoughts that are knocking at your door, wanting to be heard, and then starting to shift it towards, well, that has not served me. It's not getting me what I want. It doesn't feel good in my body. I don't make good decisions from this place. So what is it that I want? And starting to clarify and refine a new thought process that would serve you. And then day in and day out, you're going to build belief and you're going to create mastery in your life because you're going to be thinking about it and being conscious about it and shining light on it and asking yourself, how would this show up? And yep, you're looking back at, don't think this, I need to be thinking this, until one day you wake up and guess what you've done? You've mastered your mind. Not because you forced it, not with fake chance, but because every single day you have committed to mastery, to becoming a better version of you in any and every area of your life. And by mastering your mind, then you can master this area of your life. You become so unconsciously competent that it becomes normal. It becomes a new familiar. That's how you master your mind. That is how you start to master your dreams. That is how you start to master being you. Not what everybody else wants you to do, not what everybody else thinks, not what the fear and worry and doubt and justifications and reasons have told you for the last 25 years, but because you consciously decided to think different. And when you think different, you'll live different. So I encourage you today to master your mind by mastering your life. And then wherever you're watching this, click on the links below. If you are like, I really, really, really want to be mastering my life, there's so many resources. If you go to my website, there are so many resources, from a 26-day challenge to a 6-week course to any one of my Instagram videos of teaching you how to do this. And then in just a couple of months, guys, we are launching my book, Dream, I Dare You. And if you want to be the first in on this, to read this book so it can transform you from the inside out, then ping me, message me, click on the link, push the contact button wherever you're watching this, and we will add you to our group of fire starters that are ready to live the dreams that are on the inside of them. Master your life by mastering your mind today. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your life and your home and the things that are on the inside of you to start controlling it by mastering the things that are going on right in here, so you can tap into the things that are going in here.
Yeah, can I tell them what I wanted to tell at the end?
Yeah.
Are we at the end?
Yep.
Give us a thumbs up if you like our video. You can do a dreams video if you want us.
And say, don't forget to subscribe.
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 Also, give us a thumbs up.
And give us a thumbs up.